There we are. Oh, yeah. I forgot to turn my micro or my camera on. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There's my camera. I don't know why, but it keeps resetting the gain to 0 every single time. There we go. And problem solved. Okay, this seems like it's working. That one's slightly smaller. And of course, how could I forget? Gotta connect something just really quickly. But you can't see any of this. No, I don't want Steam, I don't want Steam. I just want what comes with the program. Okay, here we go. Connecting. There we go. That's better. I do miss them. I should really make a little macro that just opens them up every single time I start streaming. Nice to see you. Nice to see you here, Themos, Garrett. And of course, Themos once again for Mosmero. Just hanging out in both chats at the same time. And hello to everybody that accidentally called the teacher mom. Well, I haven't been called mom in quite a while. I don't know if I've ever been called mom in any certain situation. But maybe we'll get to that today. I decided to just continue where we left off yesterday. I'll show what I did to the Dark Pact skill, and I have my list of skills ready, just so I want to take a small look and see what else we can make. I was, for example, looking at the experience share and maybe some support-based skills, maybe the money altering stuff, because a lot of these don't really work that well. In like lingering status would be me just searching for a lot of stuff, and I don't think that would be very interesting to look at, because I'd generally be just trial and erroring my way through. Also, hi Lord Mewtwo, how you doing? Hi mom in chat. I guess I'm the mom today. No, the lingering status, like going through every single value, just checking and nothing happening for like 99% of them, doesn't really seem interesting to me. With the animations, at least we get to see something weird happening every now and then. So that felt like something that I could reasonably do. Gale Force and Fill Force, I'm not too confident in my skills in making them right now, so I don't know if that's going to be good. And things like the Hawkeye and Devil weapons and the Dazzle stuff doesn't really... that takes a lot of just scripting in different weapons, and that's a lot of Paragon work and a lot of busy work. It doesn't really seem all that interesting to me either. So I thought maybe some experience related stuff like we did with Dark Pact, or maybe some support based stuff, some money stuff, or based on number of enemies on the map. And we all know that Lagoos are in need of some help, so I thought, you know what, maybe chat also knows some nice skills or has some nice ideas for what skills could work. I'm looking forward to seeing what maybe your ideas are. I have a few videos on, of course, Anger Point and stuff like that. And I have a few skills I can show as well that do a lot with Lagoos already. Do a minimum skill IDs. And we'll minimize this one. Like, there's a lot of skills and I can't say that I'm able to find them all in just one quick go. However, we have unarmed combat, for example, where Lagoos are able to initiate combat with their fists. Then, of course, we have Anger Point, which is probably in here as well. Let's see, what did we have? What did we have? Lots of cooldown related stuff. Quick Shift immediately transforms the unit at as soon as their gauge is full. Let's see, transform these units with cool, at the start of map without the usage of a quick stone. Pulse Shift, which is pretty much even and odd based. You could call it even shift, but I'm not planning on making an odd shift. So transform on turn 1, detransform turn 2, transform turn 3, detransform turn 4. Protector of Beauty, replenish, lots of stuff in here. Another quick shift. Another pulse shift. Oh yeah, these because these would be cost and not innate. That makes sense. I think here we get Huntress. While in terrain that grants a void, grant 15% critical hit chance. Sadly, I didn't manage to get this one working yet because, well, we talked about the entire problem with getting terrain data. It doesn't exist. So I don't think that's going to be one that's going to happen. Sub Donlot, hope you're doing well. And here's a question: if an FE ever had another crossover game, what would you want the crossover to be? I mean, we had Pokemon Conquest, which of course was Nobunaga's ambition, but it feels really similar to Fire Emblem. I think something that might be interesting could be more in a real-time strategy sense, just using the skills on the grid-based system, or maybe something that would, maybe a weird thing, something that would work as a minigame within Fire Emblem, a kind of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, like the prison cell from the Fates Castle, but instead of just it being based on time, having some like weird justice system whenever you have like captured bosses or whatever, and you not necessarily for recruiting them, but showing the showing the effects of whenever you catch someone that is a high political figure, and going more into the political repercussions of like being a prisoner of war. That really would seem like a cool thing to go into. And Sally used in Dark Charm that function that could get various different stats of a character. Would that work with weapon level? Maybe, but I don't know if there's a weapon level trigger. So we could take a look, but that's also going to be very repetitive. So I might not do it the entire stream. And welcome to Blue Island. Should have just had Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor featuring Fire Emblem characters. I haven't played that game. The closest I've come was Tokyo Mirage Sessions, which I have heard isn't really all that similar to Shin Megami Tensei games. Just the fact that the letters are reversed, and it was supposedly based off of, but it doesn't feel like a Shin Megami Tensei game as far as I understood. But that might just be me. I'm not very well versed in the Shin Megami Tensei series. Let's see, just quickly going through a few of the Lagoo skills, because I asked just now if chat has any cool ideas for like how Lagoos could also have some extra skills that would benefit them greatly, because they do need some help. I also have Alleviate Appetite, which just grants 5 points of gauge when untransformed. For the Herons, I have Him Shift, Valor Shift, and Morale Shift, which when they hit 30 gauge, they transform automatically, and then they either heal, grant gauge, or grant biorhythm. Lagoo's Craft, whenever, this is like a weird one, at start of turn, if you have 2 Olivia Grass in your inventory, you remove those and you combine them to make a Lagoo Stone. If you have 2 Lagoo Stones, you create a wildstone, and then if you have 2 wildstones, you have a Laguz stone, and if you craft 2 Laguz stones, you get like a 1-use Laguz gem. Guild Force is here, but not gonna work yet. Then I have Riled Up. When a unit ends their turn next to a transformed Laguz, unit gains an additional 15 gauge themselves. So let's say Mordecai uses a Laguz stone, Leith uses an Olivia grass and stands next to them, then she immediately gets to 330 gauge. Also, your Resident Liability, hello, and Crimson Iron, nice to see you as well. Hope all is going well with everyone. And what about the skill that gives 3 points of avoid per speed point when transformed instead of 2? I remember doing defense void stacking builds with Laguz and Path of Radiance being very fun. Would be interesting, however, very difficult to actually modify the the calculations on a chapter or character per character basis. So that would be something that, although I'd like to be able to do it, and not something I can do right now because it's very much a main doll file, and main doll is like the biggest file that we can look at and we don't understand yet. I'll never understand why Tokyo Mirage ended the way it did, seeing as how Devil Survivor is literally just Fire Emblem with Shin Megami Tensei demons. I don't know, man. The idol direction was very peculiar, just to say the least. I think I'm also nearing the end of my skills. Anger Point, I just mentioned it. When below 1/3 HP, unit rages and transforms, and also they get the Daunt skill. And then I believe we're pretty much done. Then we get to all the Death Blow, Fiendish Blow, Lucky Blow, etc, etc. Armor March is going to be in the game. Yeah, so those were all of my skills so far for Laguz skills. You can see also I made a Dark Pact 2 and a Dark Pact 1, because I can show you now. Oh wait, whenever I click away it of course doesn't go away on stream. I made a few modifications. Dark Pact now, I removed of course the granting of HP or XP at the start of turn. That was mainly for testing. And now we have a callback that works every single turn. And a quick if statement: if experience is either 1 or 0, then it just does nothing, because we don't want it to show the animation but not do anything. And then here we have the entire set for a tier, what's it called? A tier 2 Peleus, because tier 2 Peleus will have Dark Pact normally. And then Dark Pact 2 is going to be for when he promotes into a tier 3 unit. The only difference is that here it costs multiply by 2 to get the amount of XP we want to subtract. So he's going to lose twice the XP that he heals. And in tier 3 it's going to be a 1-to-1 ratio. So if he heals for 40 XP, then he's also going to subtract 40 XP from after healing. So it gets a little bit better after he promotes. And that's the only difference. What I do need to do is, whenever our boy Peleus is available, I have to make a skill that checks, like, does he have the skill higher? Then he gets the, what's it called? The skill Dark Pact, and if he is skill highest, which is tier 3, then he gets the Dark Pact 2 skill. But that's on a chapter per chapter basis, so we don't have to include that here yet. And yeah, that is a lot of Laguz skills. They sure do need a buff, and I just hope to get a little bit more variety, so it is also a lot more fun to play with them. I'm thinking about maybe also adding in some weapon triangle effects, such as the lions and tigers maybe having like the same as axe effectiveness, because they are heavy blows, and then the claws from a cat and a raven could be light, more sword based. Not sure if I'm going to work with that yet. Maybe some of them will get that on higher weapon levels. Let's see, what else did you have, Donlet? Birhythm-based Lagoo skills make sense lore-wise, they certainly do. And double avoid from support bonuses, also Donlet the same thing, that's calculations-based, and I can't change that yet. Maybe some biorhythms give higher defense, while low biorhythm increases avoid defense. Also very similar. I know that a lot of the things that I make do work with bonuses, but that's mostly because the weapons get bonuses in that case. And because the Lagoos have a weapon that is locked to them, I can't actually make that many changes to them. I can't switch them out like I can with swords for Bay Orc units. So it's mostly working around those limitations. Of course, I'm currently like the only one actually coding this stuff, so I don't really have a big document where you can see all the rules that I have to follow. So just please keep coming with the ideas and I'll explain why they can work or why they won't be able to work as we go along. However, we can certainly work a little bit on some birhythm based stuff because I have some of those. We can take a look at morale shift because that skill is actually not entirely done yet. Let's see, where was it? It was the unit set status. I'll take a look, find morale shift. Here we go. This I'll also quickly walk through it, not to... It works pretty much every turn, just as with the Dark Pact skill. It looks for Raphael, Lian, or Raisin, because they all could have this skill. Then it tests if they have the skill. We already go into the disable skip, so you can't stop it. Then we get V2, we get their Lagoo's gauge, that's value 8. Like 6 is level, 7 is XP, 8 is gauge. And there's a lot more, but I don't know all of them. You might need to type !avatar if done correctly, but apparently Nightbot is not cooperating. Hashtag or !GBA would be for just a bit of explanation on how you can get your avatar. What you could also do if one is not popping up, you can go to my Twitch page and then to the About section, and you should be able to select an avatar from there if the command is not working. And did I already add lunge for Lagoo skills? I haven't. I have lunge, and I might apply that to a few weapons. Yes, that is an idea that I'm like maybe for tigers or for wolves, because the wolves when they attack, they of course like grab the jaw and then swing around, so that could work for switching spaces. Going back to morale shift, however, we have unit focus. We transform units, because if V3, if the Lagoo's gauge is 30, then we transform. We wait, we wait, we wait, we have an animation, we play the effect of the chant, and then we apply that on our unit with V4. And then we have an entire section where we get positions. So all of these are like just north and south. And if someone is there, we play the effect Bliss or Sorrow, depending on if the get force, if the alliance of a unit is either 1, which is an enemy, so Sorrow, or if it's 0 for a player. I might, however, remove the Sorrow part, but it seems like the random places where birhythm for enemies are starting are considered their 1 point, so it just puts them back to whatever it was at the start. So this might not actually put them in worse birhythm, sadly, but it does work for playable characters. And then it just goes through the animation, and after that it sets the value corresponding to whatever it needs to be. So if it's male or if it's an enemy, it places V13 11, and 22, and otherwise it puts it at 3 for pretty much every single biorhythm curve. 3 is like starting from neutral and going up, so you're either in good or you're in best, and you still have quite a ways to go as well. Taking some of that for a new skill, I'll copy this. Take a look. We have to probably, like if we're taking a callback and we're working with Laguz, if Laguz would have a certain skill, what I'm currently thinking of, if they have the skill, and I don't know what the name is going to be yet, then if they are in best biorhythm, then, or maybe if they reach 30 gauge, we put them in best biorhythm. That could also work. Like the fact that they transform means that they also are like hyped up, ready to go, and they're ready to attack. That makes sense to me. So we can steal quite a bit from this. We're doing a callback for the same amount of turns, like this is all fine, and then we have, instead of a unit get by PID, we can do it that if this skill is going to be applicable to many characters, you could have it, how do I say this? Depending on what we do now, we're either going to make it check for every single playable character that's on the map, or we're going to select a certain PID, which would be like Raphael or any other character. I think I'm going to start with this being a personal for, let's say, who's very feisty, who's ready to go. Leith already has some skills dedicated to her, and she also is quite angry most of the time, so I'm looking for someone who might be more happy. Like this might fit Liar a bit more. So we'd go V0 equals unit get by PID, and then PID Liar. It's disappointing that Volu could have been a cool growth unit Laguz, but gets completely shafted. Mostly due to the experience. Like the experience curves for Laguz are weird. Then we have unit get. Oh wait, that is V1 equals unit get. Actually, no. Unit test skill. V0, what are we going to call this skill? Anyone have an idea for whatever, a skill that when you transform you're also immediately put in a good mood? Like I have riled up already, so it's like something similar to that. Feisty? I guess that could work as a placeholder. And then if refreshed could also work, but that does make that does land a little bit in the same territory as the refresh from Galdar, from Vigor. There's a few skills I believe I already have, like with refreshing, but it does fit. Unit test skill. Yeah, skill, that's a good one. Skill Adrenaline. Or skill Rush, just makes it a little bit easier to type. Then unit... I'm doing this wrong, that's why I'm wondering what's... I don't need this. I can just go if unit test skill, do it this way. If V0 has the skill Rush, then unit set in this case would be V0. No, it's not 8 because that is gauge. We have to take a look at what do we have here. Yeah, warm up, spirited, excitable, hunting mood. Like I'll keep rush could also mean movement, so I'll keep it at adrenaline as a skill ID, and then keep these suggestions coming. I'll take a look at what the actual name is going to be once we're going to make the skill in Paragon. So you say the unit set we put at 3. And this would be the most basic part of the skill. If we get Liar, and if she has the skill Adrenaline, then unit set mood to 3, and then we have to add one more if statement, because currently it does it all the time. And this is, we might actually have to put in 2 more if statements, because we first have to check if she is transformed, which we also do with unit test skill. And that would be V0 skill ID lycanthrope. There we go. So currently it only works when she's transformed. However, we don't want this to happen every single turn that she's transformed, so now it's also a matter of doing an if statement and looking at her gauge, and if her gauge is 30, then we apply it. If unit test skill, no, not unit get V8, V0, and then 8. Oh, making a mistake. We can put that in V1. V1 equals unit get V08, because now we just have the value stored, and then if V1 equals 30, and now we have it every single turn. It checks if we have Liar and if we have her value. Then if she has the skill Adrenaline, which she should, because she of course is, this would be her personal skill. And then if she is transformed, if she has 30 gauge, then we set her biorhythm to being probably good or best. This also means that if she gets back to 30 H or 30 gauge during any of this, she also would, in theory, get her biorhythm back, so she can stay happy a lot of times. I don't necessarily find that a problem. It just means that if you can keep her topped up, she actually stays in a good biorhythm as well, which is something you can play around. Now the only thing is, this happens during player phase, at the start of player phase, and I don't know if it checks if it's going to... I don't know if it's going to do this check before or after the skill has run, because you of course lose gauge whenever the turn starts. So I don't know if this is going to be the correct way to check it. We might just do a very simple after every action. So that would be 0x7. Because then if she's transformed and if she's then has waited, it should be fine. Oh, there's an invalid token. That makes sense because I forgot a semicolon. Unit test skill and unit get are all fine. And let's see, we had warm up, adrenaline rush, spirited, excitable, hunting mood. I think I do like... see, hunting mood for now. Seems like a good way to start. And that means we'll go into Paragon and we'll add this skill. Ooh, Prowl is also nice. Might actually use that for maybe for a movement-based skill. Let's see, we have characters. We can just give this to Liar. She currently has the skill Dirty. So we give her the skill Adrenaline. There we go. Hello. Screen, please come back. Thank you. Dark Charm was 250. And then we're going to copy this to item. Probably means I'm going to have to make some extra icons as well. So this would be 251. Skill ID is Adrenaline, not Adrenaloin. Adrenaline and hunting mood. So whenever unit transforms, sets biorhythm to good or best. I don't know which one it is, I'll fix that in just a moment. And then Adrenaline here as well. Improves biorhythm, I can spell, when transforming. This skill can only be held with Ace. I don't think it really matters if this skill matches with other skills like the anger point and such like that. Capacity type I'll have to take a look in just a moment. And of course this one is only available for allies, which is Lagoost units. And now the problem is, what is the icon going to be? Because I've used so many already, I probably have to make some more. There is... I've used this one already. I've used that one already, I've used that one already. All the cat heads are already in use. I guess for now we can just give it a placeholder one. We'll give it the Crest of Seros. Thank you Fire Emblem Heroes for providing all of those nifty skills. Very nice to not have to make all of these with pixel art. And I think then the only thing we have to do is add Liar to our lineup. Always Oliver. There we go. Oh no, this is chapter 1-1. We need one prologue. So I'm going to change, let's see, Nolan can change to Liar, and his class is going to be Cat Liar, and then the untransformed version, and we'll put the starting transform on 25. Just so we can see if it works or not, depending on... Actually, I'll put it on 14. If she still gets 15, that should be okay. It would only take 2 turns in that case. I just want to see that her biorhythm is able to get into bad as well, because if it's going to start going up and going into best, then of course we have to take a look. And we'll have to have it in a bad biorhythm before we can actually test the skill. And we'll take a look, see if this works. Probably that I forgot something somewhere. Oh, yeah, there is the rank up. Yeah, 2 days ago, I believe Garrett asked about Lagoose promotions. This is a system that Dunal currently has. She does not have the skill. Probably made a mistake somewhere. But the rank up system is something that Dunal has made, and because we copied a lot of code, I currently have it implemented, but I'm going to tweak it a bit so that it's more suited to Daybreak specific. And yes, Nolan has become Liar. So she has the skill ID Adrenaline, and the skill should exist. So then why does it not? I guess we can take a look. Maybe it does still work. So she's currently at best by rhythm, so we'll have to wait just a moment. Okay, normal. And currently in worst. So if we shift, does anything happen? Maybe not, because she doesn't have the skill. No. So I did make a mistake somewhere. I guess we'll just save again, because it should now have her skill equipped. Or maybe I've just reached the end of my entire limit of skills that are actually able to show up. And yes, indeed, the rare heroes W. I do like heroes for the amount of resources and like content and whatever they have. Like all the PNGs of characters, of course, help a lot. There we go, hunting mood. So we're currently not transformed, we're on normal, and we are probably going up. Yeah, best biorhythm. Best biorhythm. And now we're going into normal, and next turn we should be in worst. However, if we shift, then hopefully the skill doesn't activate because I didn't actually put the new skill file in. I am such an idiot. I was like, okay, we've got one, and why isn't this working? There we go. That's my bad. I was so focused on moving all the folders from Paragon, like moving all those files into Daybreak, that I completely forgot to actually copy and paste the skill as well. So we'll try it just one more time. And Sebastian, or Bastian, was here because a few streams ago we were working on a lot of the animations for tomes. Which I'm happy to say, I currently now have a few more spells to work with. They're not perfect. Wait, where is Peleus? But we have Stone, Elstone, Arkstone, and Atlas. So we're working on some animations, and we also have now, from Heroes, colorless magic with Earth magic. Oh, the double flare proc, very nice. So how is your biorhythm looking? Currently on normal. So I'm going to make save state. If we now shift, it should work. But it does not. Okay, so does it mean that I have to move another character for that to work? No. After every action, if we have Liar, and we have her gauge, and if her gauge is 30, did I look at that correctly? Yes, if gauge is 30, and if unit test skill Adrenaline, that should be here. And if unit test skill Lycanthrope, she should have that. Because the Cat Liar skill here has skill ID Lycanthrope. Maybe I mistyped it? Don't think so. And if V1 is 30 and V1 is... yeah. Then unit set V0 11. So just like with morale shift, we set 11 to 3 because we want a unit in best biorhythm. So what is not working here? There's no problems with the skill, there's no errors. There's nothing to suggest that it wouldn't work. Up. Change that space in just a moment as well. But hunting mood, whenever unit transforms, sets biorhythm to best. Yes, Leonardo, hello, welcome here. Currently she is in best, so we'll have to wait. We still have to wait. Now she's in normal. I accidentally pressed wait, but she's now in worst, so when we transform... why aren't we being placed in best biorhythm? We have the PID liar. We can see that she has the skill. You can also see that she has, whenever she's transformed, she has the skill Lycanthrope. I can move up the window. I haven't changed the code actually. Like I would if I would remove the windows if needed. However, it seems like there's some issue currently still going on. We have PID liar and we get her gauge. We store the value here and then we test if she has the skill. We test if she has the skill Lycanthrope, which means she is transformed. She gets that skill whenever she transforms into her transformed cat class. And then if her gauge is 30, we would set her biorhythm to value to the third stage, which in this case probably would be best. However, something is not matching up. Currently, she should, in theory, because we have all the conditions met. She has the skill Adrenaline, or Hunting Mood. She has the skill Lycanthrope because she's currently transformed. Her gauge is 30. So there's no reason why biorhythm wouldn't be changed in this case. Maybe I made a mistake and it's actually 12. Very peculiar. Like, there's pretty much no reason that shouldn't work. Still has hunting mood, so what is going on? Like, she's in best just because it's her normal biorhythm curve, and that doesn't have anything to do with the... That doesn't have anything to do with the skill. Yeah, I can see if I can remove some comments in just a moment. Change this back to 11. I guess we'll just go by the numbers. First we'll take her gauge away as a requirement. And we'll go one by one. Okay, next attempt. We currently are only looking for if she's transformed and if she has the skill. See, she is currently in normal biorhythm, so we should be able to transform. Okay, it's not the gauge. I guess I may as well also just check if it happened. It should happen after every action, so it also should happen whenever she ends her turn. Unit get by P, PID, liar, and unit get. Like, that all makes sense. You'd think that making a skill like this would be like a nice and easy skill, just a nice way to start the stream, but immediately we're running into issues, sadly. Luckily I have a nice cup of tea and some good company, so we'll get through this in any case. Yes, rank up. Like yesterday, I caught a small piece of Sanyo's stream, and apparently he forgot his, like the carafe, like the pot for where the coffee is supposed to drip in. He forgot to place that under the actual coffee machine, so he had to mop up his entire coffee table. I'm very happy that I don't drink coffee. I just can't stand the stuff. Okay, she's currently still going into different values, so that is weird. But it does change her biorhythm to good. So now being shifted did change it, and nothing is happening now. Now she's back to good. She's at best. We end our turn with and she's back to good. So it does work. It does influence biorhythm. That's step one. So then, if she has the skill adrenaline, is that going to still make it work? Slowly adding pieces of the code back to it, see where the issue lies. I'm expecting it to lie with the lycanthrope part, but I wouldn't know why. So she's currently in normal biorhythm. Leo shows up. She is in best biorhythm. If we shift and we just do any action, she is currently still in best biorhythm. And she's still in best biorhythm. Okay, so it's apparently the adrenaline skill not working. Did I make a mistake just calling it something wrong? Oh yeah, that. I misplaced one small I. It was the adrenaline skill. I said it last time, and I'm still not doing it myself. I have not been checking my writing well enough. So it probably was just working normally as intended. However, if the skill is looking for the adrenaline skill and she only has the adrenaline skill, then that of course does make a big difference. Yes, dreaded typos indeed. Okay, new attempt. She ranks up. Really, it's adrenaline. Does she now... Did I also copy and paste it wrong? Characters. Yep, she also has it wrong here. Okay. Save. Copy. Paste. One more time. And we should be good to go now. So she currently does have the adrenaline skill. The hunting mood is there. Biorhythm is moving normally. Biorhythm is in best. Her biorhythm is in normal. And I'm going to look now that it's in worst. We're going to transform. This does mean that if she is in combat when she transforms, she won't benefit from it immediately. And it's still in worst. Damn it. Why oh why? Skill ID adrenaline. You know what? I'm just gonna copy it from here. Yeah, that is exactly the same. Okay, then maybe it still is also an issue with lycanthrope. Copy paste again. Let's take a look. That reminds you of the Alien Colonial Marines game where a big part of the AI didn't work because the coder misspelled tether. Is that... I heard something about that. I'm trying to think of what it was. Was it that the aliens were never actually coming over towards you? Their searching AI wasn't good because there was some, like, an invisible tether between the player's location and the alien, that it didn't actually connect to where the moving location was or something like that of the player? Okay, nothing weird so far. Max biorhythm, that's all good. Normal biorhythm. Worst biorhythm, and we transform. Still in worst. So it's not the lycanthrope. If unit test... Like, it should be PID liar, right? Yeah, PID liar with an I, not with a Y. So why isn't it working? Unit get by PID. It happens after every single action. Also, I'll remove that space while we're here. Yeah, typo, misspelled is tether. It shouldn't have an impact. The skill ID Lycanthrope is also available on her. Like, I get the idea, Donlot, but these are pretty much just copy and pastes of the normal class, the normal cat class, except with different job IDs and names. Like, this one has no Lycanthrope because she's untransformed, and this one does have Lycanthrope. If unit test skill V0 skill ID Adrenaline, and then if unit test skill Lycanthrope, if gauge is 30, the Adrenaline part, because I don't know what else it could be, but why would it then have an issue? You're going to see that rank up animation quite a few more times. So nothing happened. She's also not at 30 gauge, so that makes sense. She is in best biorhythm. She's still in best biorhythm. She's in normal biorhythm, and now if we shift, we're still in normal. We had progress just not too long ago. Where's this coming from? And I guess if gauge is 30, could also just be valid. But then I guess we don't need the test skill for Adrenaline. It's only there for flavor, because it's going to be for Liar alone anyway. Yeah, she was influencing her biorhythm earlier. If unit test skill ID Lycanthrope. Like, this should check after she's grayed out. It shouldn't check during, because this happens after every action that has been done. But I guess we can leave the skill check for Adrenaline out, because the icon is mostly there just for flavor, just to showcase that it happens. It's not, because we can just check for Liar herself, because it doesn't really matter. It's only going to be for her anyway. So skill ID Lycanthrope, because it would be nice if she were transformed only. And she can transform. She's at best. She is at best. I don't think this is going to work. She's at normal, so if we shift, we're still at 30 gauge, but we're still normal. I guess it could just be that if she shifts, or if she's at 30 gauge, she just automatically becomes happy. Very basic skill in that case, but Liar could still just use the buff. Pretty much now it's just whenever Liar gets to 30 gauge, she enters best biorhythm. And then it could also, of course, be so that it starts at turn. So sadly she enters best at the same time, so I can't really check this time. However, if we just keep her at best, No, she should... Now she really should just be... Like, I simplified the code so much. It's literally if v1 equals 30, and we had the same thing here in morale shift. Unit get v2 8, and v2 was either Raphael, Leanne, etc. And here we have the unit get v0 8, so that is their gauge. If the gauge of v1, or if the gauge v1 is 30, and then v3 is unit get v2 8. v1 is unit get. Like, that is just the same. v2 is a unit. v1, in this case v3, is unit get gauge from v2. And here it is get gauge from v0. And then if v1 equals 30, unit set v0 11 to 3. Can't really get more basic than that. It's making me so confused. Unit set v12, in this case v0 11 3. Yeah, double check if you're modifying the correct values of v1 and unit set. Like, unit set here is v0, which is liar, and then 11 and 3 we already did see that it was able to influence biorhythm, and the unit get, we get the value 8, which is the goose gauge, as we can see in this skill, which already works. So those all match up to what we should expect. So many questions. Currently it should change her biorhythm like after every single action. That's the easiest way to check. Currently her biorhythm is 14, so it's not going to be best. She's going to, of course, enter best because she's in a very chaotic biorhythm now. So that would just be natural. However, from here on out, her biorhythm can progress. And now it's a normal because a new turn starts, but if I just end my turn... There we go, now it's placed in good. Okay, it's in best. If we... It's still in best. Still in best. Currently it's in bad, and then if we do anything, it now enters bad. It does make a small modification at one point, and then it doesn't do anything anymore. And why is that? Because this should literally happen after every single action. Or does she she still has 30 gauge. She's at worst biorhythm, but she has 30 gauge, so she should just stay in. I'm so confused. I guess biorhythm is not as easy to figure out as I expected. Does it happen if I revert? Okay, it does change. Why does it change whenever I revert? So she's going through the cycle normally. She's now in bad. And now when I end my turn, it's in good again. So this currently only works when she's untransformed? That makes no sense. That makes no sense whatsoever. Why would it matter if she's transformed or not? She has 30 gauge, right? Like, it's working, but it's only working when she's untransformed? I mean, I guess that's not as bad. I could still make it like whenever player turn starts, whenever player turn starts and she has 30 gauge, because she gains gauge when the turn starts, of course, she gets put into a good biorhythm, so she can start her turn that way, so it's not that bad. But I'm just confused as to why this only happens in untransformed Liar. Because if I've got her transformed, like, she still has 30 gauge. And now we're in bad, but we stay in bad even though... And now if I revert and I wait, it's fine again. What happens if I shift? What if I revert and I shift? Does it then... No, it doesn't make a change. No, I actually didn't give it to both classes because I gave it to Liar as a personal skill. So it should just be... Come on. Like this skill, where's Liar as a character? I gave Liar the skill, I didn't give it to any single class. I guess we can change, like, yeah, what Mewtwo did say, like this should still work. However, if V1 is greater than 29, maybe it's just checking if it hits the 30 mark, as Donlot said, but not if it stays at 30, which would be a weird way of checking it, but I mean, I can't think of anything else. No, but that also doesn't make sense, because she also stays at 30 when she's untransformed. You learn something new every day, I guess. Yes, hello Leonardo. So currently she is in best. We're going to wait until she's going into normal. I did add the skill ID Adrenaline and the skill Lycanthrope again. And that does seem to work. And now she's at best, so this would be better to put at 4. Because then she's definitely at best specifically, and now if I end my turn, she's back at 3. Lord Mewtwo, you're a hero. Once again. So we'll quickly change this to change his biorhythm to best. Whenever unit transforms... Would that make sense? No, whenever unit is at 30 gauge when transformed, is set to best biorhythm, because you could still get to 30 gauge while you're transformed and not by transforming. So this is a little bit more accurate. Whenever unit is at 30 gauge, when transformed, unit is set to best biorhythm. Now, I could not tell you why one version works and the other one doesn't. Like, that is such a weird interaction. Oh, no, I don't want to copy that. I want to copy this. And there's one thing I need to check. Currently, Savage Blow has a lock. So if I look for Savage Blow, that would be Capacity Type 1. This is also Capacity Type 1. What is different? Oh, it doesn't have anything at all, so if I were to remove everything from hunting mood, delete, and delete, this would probably gain a lock, I would presume. Like, currently way too many of the skills I have are not yet personal skills. This is just some weird coding shenanigans made by the devs of Radiant Dawn, and I don't know why version A doesn't work, but version B works, and we should be glad that it does, I guess. So now it has a lock, so it's now a personal skill for Liar. Whenever unit is at 30 gauge when transformed, unit is set to best biorhythm. And currently we are, of course, at best biorhythm already. We still are. And we're at normal. We shift. And we are put at good. Well, in that case, I'll just put it as good biorhythm. From my feeling, the value 3 was slightly better. Maybe if I put it to value 2? And we're going to add slightly more to this code, because currently, of course, whenever a new turn starts, and currently she is still at 30 gauge like every single time, just because of the way I made it really easy to keep units transformed, but normally it would decrease a bit. But if for some reason she still would be at 30 gauge at the start of turn, then it also should not decrease her biorhythm. So we'll just add a small callback as well, where at the start of turn, if she is not at best biorhythm, she gets put to best biorhythm if the conditions are met. No, it doesn't seem to make a big difference. I'm just going to change the text to good. That means she also has a little bit more time in good biorhythm as well. Did you ever think of creating a proper testing map? Yes, I actually did. I have thought about this. I haven't made it yet. I was thinking of making 3-10 a big testing map, because it has like the big open field. I was thinking of making that at a certain point. I might actually do it, like, move it up the priority list a little bit, because it does, of course, take a bit of time every time Leonardo steps in, and the intro sequence and all that stuff. Like, you have to press enter, and even though it goes quickly, you're right that it does take a bit of time. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that entire thing yet, but I'm probably going to make work of that, like in the next month or so. And on another note, what do you think of Blessing Lagoos you brought to Tower of Royal Transformation? I'm not going to do that, probably. I want to keep like the skills that you have worked with and that make like playing Lagoos fun. I want to keep those nice and tidy and keep them interesting, like the anger point and all those other skills. However, when the blessing happens, I will set all the, and for a lot of other maps, you won't have Lagoos starting at like 0 gauge. They will have, just like in Path of Radiance, they will start at custom moments. They won't always start at 30, because there are going to be skills that allow you to transform immediately, but they will have more than 0, probably just making sure that every Lagoos would be able to transform turn 2 if they use an Olivia Grass, or if they use a skill they transform immediately, or at start of enemy turn, depending on like what the skills do and if you can fulfill the conditions. The best example I can give, Mordecai has, for example, a skill called Quick Shift. It means that he transforms at the start of turn 1. It doesn't do anything else, so it's like a very important skill for action economy at the start, but it doesn't grant you any benefits later on in the map. And Leith could then chug an Olivia Grass and also have the Riled Up skill, which grants 15 gauge whenever she ends her turn next to a transformed Lagoos. So if she moves next to Mordecai after he is transformed and then chucks an Olivia Grass, she will be able to transform immediately on turn 2. Or if you use the anger point skill and you throw them into danger, like you can do all kinds of stuff like that. Yeah, I'm aware of the map order. It's mostly that I would have to make an effort into changing all the units. Like currently it would just be 3 10 units, or it would be the Dawn Brigade, but not much else. And I would want to make like a custom build where all the weapons are available, all the skills are available in units. That way it also would allow for a lot more map testing. And I have some big projects that I have to work on currently that I want to get out of the way. And after that, I'm probably going to prioritize that map a bit more. And then I should have like something that's tied to a video I'm making, plus the map available for people to like playtest and mess around with. And I might also like throw in that as a decent time to like open a Patreon or a Ko-Fi. So it's something I'm working on, I'm planning, but just haven't gotten around to it. Also, Lord Mewtwo, I did see your question. It's very easy. In Paragon you have characters, and can you see it? You can barely see it. I'm going to remove Liar from Dolphin. Here in the bottom you see untransformed per turn gain, which currently is 20, and per battle she gains 15, per turn she gains 15, and she loses 5 per battle. So you can just put minuses here, and then she loses this much, or she gains this much. It's very easy to buff the Lagoos a little bit in that way. I would recommend, if you're going to make some adjustments, like for an option for the randomizer, to just give everyone Tiger Lagoos gains, for example. Tiger or Hawk or maybe Lion. That way you could just set all of those values for every single one. And these are for characters only. If you want to do it for classes, you would use the NPCs. You would go to, I believe, also still character. And here you have the Gallia units, and they have 20, 15, 15, 5. And this one seems normal. 8, 15... No, it's not even normal. Like, they're all changed a little bit. But you can change even for the enemy tigers, all the transformation turn, like the gauge influence. I guess that might be the case, that it just doesn't like that it just physically caps it at 30 at the end of a script, like that would probably be a main doll thing. Probably the best explanation so far. It puts it at 45 and then it checks with the skill and then it puts it back at 30, but still it's weird. But it being above 29 seems to fix the issue, so all that starts well ends well, I guess. I might add like a at start of turn thing, depending on how I want Liar's gauge to work. I'll keep it like this for now, just because it's... with her current gauge, of course, it doesn't make sense, but I'm not planning on giving her this busted gauge that keeps her transformed indefinitely. So I might just add something later on. Let's see, we don't need this. Hunting mood is done for now. Yeah, and always, Garrett, always just input in any way, shape, or form is always much appreciated. So we've got another transform-based skill, this one being a personal in this case. I might just also take a look, maybe if we can have some fun support stuff. I don't know, like for example, the experience share is one that I'm pretty interested in. And that's also a skill that should be distributed, and for example, experience share would be a really cool skill to give to Shinon. Whenever Shinon has a support with Rolf, he would then also give some experience to Rolf in that case, because he's tutoring him. And that could be a skill that's a personal skill, or it could also be a skill that could cost capacity, but for example, he could get that skill in a conversation where he's like talking with Rolf about... I don't know when the conversations are. I know that there's one with... just going to quickly look up Serenus Forest. There's the one where he gets the silencer, and Rolf is of course very happy about like, oh, can I shoot them in the eye and this and that. But I believe he has a conversation earlier as well, or maybe it was one where Shinon is being talked about. The one where Ike says he wouldn't smell smoke if his head was on fire. Just give me a quick second. Or if anyone knows, just shout it in chat. Oh, there's no script for those. Only 3.1 and 3 prologue. Wait, I need base conversations. I'm looking in the wrong place. Part 3. Shinon. Kitten Smitten. And then chapter 4, Shinon is alive. Yeah, Ike says like, right, it's wise Rolf is making bows now. He mentioned something about bows being good income in emergencies. Rolf is learning, Amy then says, Rolf is learning from a good teacher, but he's still no match for the master himself. And Ike, of course, perplexed, Rolf is Shinon's student. I think that would be a really cool chapter, like chapter 4, where that's also a nice time that you could have built a support with Rolf and Shinon. It doesn't have to be them, and you of course can also go for it at a later point. But that could be a really cool moment where Shinon gets the experience share, like the tutoring skill, because it's talked about and the secret is out. So Ike now knows it, and Amy knows it, like the camp knows it. Oh, I'm looking forward to detailed feedback, don't worry. I have so many, like there's so many interactions currently that have bugs in them, because there are so many items and skills that you can probably playtest for hours and find stuff that needs fixing. Okay, that's all set up. I'll remove the Paragon window as well. I'll take a quick break, get some more to drink, and I'll be right back. And then we'll get into the tutoring skill. So get something to drink yourself. No coffee, coffee bad, tea good. And I'll see you in just a moment. It's not in time with getting my tea, but it'll be fine. Just means I have to be gone a second time for like 10 seconds. I hope you can all live without me for that long. Shouldn't be too hard. Now then, for making a new skill, I would say... How do you spell tutelage? Would it be this? This is where me not knowing specific words, of course, comes in. Nice, I spelled it correctly. I know English. Nice. Okay, for tutelage, I'm pretty much just going to steal an entire skill that I already have, which is amiable. I'll go through this in just a moment. My tea has just finished. Yes, I do know English. It's unbelievable. It's actually, regarding tea, it's kind of weird. I'm a big tea aficionado. I love cups of tea. I drank them a lot during work as well, although most of them cold, because then you're just busy working in the kitchen and you forget them and then they cool, and they're of course on a metal countertop, so they cool quite rapidly. However, even when I was a kid, I just drank tea like 8, 10, 12 times a day. My mom at least was never worried about me not hydrating. I tried coffee, just didn't sit well with me. Don't like the taste. Tried it a few more times, just not for me. However, drinking that much tea did mean that at a certain point people started giving me like specific tea as gifts, which is very nice of them. However, I'm primarily a licorice tea drinker, so I just ended up with this giant stash of different kinds of tea that all are tasty and they're nice, but not my, pardon the pun, cup of tea, which is actually why I would not be a great partner for Celine. Like, we wouldn't get along that well. I'm like, yeah, but this one, like, this is great, but I like this. Like, that specific one. So I'm making a conscious effort now to, like, have... I don't know if this is going to be visible, and it's, like, the least relevant thing, probably. But I have two different... Come on. I have two different tea labels because I have, like, my own flavorful one that I like, and then I'm blending it with tea that I'm trying to just not necessarily get rid of because I don't want to throw it away, but that I don't find that interesting. So I know probably I would probably just be executed on the spot by Celine, like, how dare you blend this rich tea? You do not belong in Ferney. Anyway, that's my small tea spiel. I like tea. I like one specific tea. I get many different teas. I get small kind of sad. Anyway, getting back to Amiable, I'll quickly go through this one for those who haven't seen the video. On turn 1, and this is always, of course, with characters that don't matter right now, placeholders, Micaiah and Eddie. We test if Micaiah has the skill. Then we check if, by this boss, if Eddie is also on the map. If the current level of their support between Micaiah and Eddie is 0, then we still set it to 0 and we do nothing. Because we don't want nothing to happen. Or rather, when there is no support, we want nothing to happen. Once again, we check the skill, yada yada yada. However, if we find a 1, if we find the C support, we advance it on the map to level 2. So this means that if you're, like, let's say it's chapter 1-4, you have literally just gone through the first few maps, Micaiah has amiable, and you can create a support between her and Edward, a C support. Then as soon as you start the map in 1-4, on turn 1, it gets progressed to a B support immediately. So it's really nice for helping units get a boost in their bonuses that they get from their supports. Then it has a disable skip, we focus on the units. We play the effect supports on the shoulder, otherwise it's a little bit low. We wait, we enable skip, and we go to end. And then we apply the same thing as well. If unit test skill amiable, however, if support level is B, then we advance it to A. And this means, of course, because it automatically gets advanced to B in 1-4, in 1-5 you could already have an A support between Micaiah and Edward. Being left, the cat has chosen some other place to lie down. It doesn't want my attention. So that is amiable as a skill, and we can take a lot from this, of course. Who are on the map? Let's say Bastion is on the map. Oh, that's not what I want to copy. I guess we can just pretty much copy everything to start with. So this happens on turn 1, but it happens on pretty much every single turn. And actually it doesn't even need to be by turn basis. This is just per action, because if Shinon attacks multiple times because he gets danced, then this should proc multiple times. We have Micaiah on the map. We also have Pelias, Pelii. There we go. Also, partner for who? Was that a specific question, or was that meant more as a... Like, what were you referring to, Themos? Let's see, skill ID amiable. I'll also quickly give, of course, Micaiah. She still has amiable. We'll call it skill tutor. Haven't misspelled that. If we have skill tutor and we check if Pelias is on the map, and then we check if they have something, we can just go to end, because nothing else happens. If there's no, nothing happening, like if we find the skill but there is no support, then we just don't do anything else. Tutor, we'll change this to tutor. I don't know if you can hear that, but the cat is very, very cute. He's calling for attention. Maybe he wants to go outside. Okay, everything is set to Pelias and Micaiah. We don't, of course, have to set the support level. And I'm going to wait a little bit with this. We don't need this specific effect play, but we might need it to showcase the experience bar, which also means, by now that I think about it, that this actually doesn't have to happen after every single action. It only has to happen after a die battle, because die battle is whenever you have a combat. The combat in this case would be PID Micaiah, the person who is doing the combat herself. The target, PID underscore, which can be anyone. And then I'll have to quickly look this up. So that would be 1 and skills. Almost correct. There we go. Also, Mabel4XO, thank you for the follow. Hope you're enjoying your stay here. Oh, and I'm seeing that Paragon is once again in the way. But this was mostly just amiable anyways. But hope you'll enjoy your stay here. And see what Daybreak modding is all about. Come on, he's so cute. Where was I? We have Peleus and Micaiah. We test if V0 has the skill. We test if Peleus is in the Dispos. If there is no yell level, we do nothing, which is of course logical. And then, because this is all a die battle, this means that we have to change the location of this bracket to here. Because if we have had a battle and they have a support, it also means that we have to create a last one for a support. And let's say whenever the tutor is at a C support, they grant 5 extra experience. Whenever they're at B, they grant 10 and 15 for A support. That would be a good starting position. We still need a disable skip and we need a unit focus, but in this case we need to focus on Peleus, which in this case would be V1, because we want to see his experience bar go up. We could still have the effect play from V2 is effect play for support. We could still have that play for Micaiah, so that it shows at the same time that Micaiah has like the support effects happening, and then after battle, and then it grants some experience to the other character, which is actually the one that is being focused on. That means that we have to take a look at experience, and I don't know if yeah, we have unit get V17. So I'll make, that doesn't need to be damage source. Unit get V17. And that means that this V2 has become V3. And this V2 has become V3. And then effect weight V3. And this effect weight we're going to clear for now because they don't need to happen yet. I don't know if the experience bar is going to show up. That's the big question. We can take a look at the all functions list, I guess. Window. Show heal window. Shouldn't there also be a unit show heal window in here? Unit show. Hey, there's no unit show heal window in here. Oh, it's just show heal window, but that's still not. Never mind. But there is no experience one. So I don't know how I would have to show that with an effect. We'll get to that in a moment, I guess. We show the support. I guess we could show the support happening for both. And then we unit set V4, in this case, V4 equals V2 plus... I don't know if when we set the experience, if it's going to set it to that specific value or if it's going to set it to what it was originally plus what we currently have. So we'll have to figure that out. So I have a V4 plus 5, and then V5 would be the same thing, but then plus 10. Also, I shouldn't forget semicolons. And V6 equals plus 15. And we unit set V1, 7, V4. That's currently what we would have in this case. Also, I have to, of course, make a callback in this case, because we don't have a support callback. This one is just for demonstrative purposes. Event turn, and then 1, 1, 0. Quickly grab this. Unit set where is it? Or is it just set yell? Person set yell level, that's it. V0, V1, 1. Hopefully that's enough. Probably not, by the way. I guess I could have also just copied this, I guess. Here we go. Dispose unit check. If 0, then we person set yell level. PID Micaiah. PID Peleus. Here's my amiable when I need it. So we dispose check, and then if that should work. Also, die battle is apparently undefined. Oh, it's event die battle. Whoops, my bad. Event die battle. Okay, so we have our tutor skill. We have nothing happens if they're 0, which currently, of course, we don't need. If tutor, then dispose unit check Peleus. If the level is 1, disable skip, we focus on Peleus, we focus wait, we play the support effect, on both characters. We wait, and then we unit set the experience to be 5 extra. And let's take a look, see if this works. We of course still have to make the skill in Paragon, but that shouldn't take too long. We add 1, we add and we copy Hunting Mood because it's the latest skill. I'm going to keep the icon for now. This is skill ID Tutor, which I cannot actually write wrong. That's... And then tutelage. We change this to a 2 to keep the ID correct. After combat, unit grants support unit 5, 10, 15 XP based on support level. We do need an unlock item eventually, but we don't need it right now. And I believe I already gave Micaiah the skill. Yeah, she already has skill Tutor. So we'll take a look, see if this is going to work. Where are we? Where are we? Script editor. Copy. Paste. And we're firing up Daybreak. Okay, first of all, we should just get the support to be set. Yes, we rank up. That's all well and good. We have a C support, so that's working. Now the big question is, if I attack with Purge, and just to be sure, Peleus has 0 experience. If I attack with Purge, we have an animation playing, which is good. We actually have 2 animations playing, which is not entirely correct, but we'll get to that in just a moment. Also here we have the Purge, of course, but in combat view, we kill the units. Some weird stuff is probably going to happen afterwards. Oh, no, nothing. And we have 5 experience. So that works. That works fully as intended. The only thing is I would like it to apply it before combat or after combat, but that's not something that is currently possible, I think. Or at least I haven't had much luck with getting stuff to appear after combat. So that is something, maybe if we do apply it as an instead of a die battle, as a 0x7, that it happens after every action, but then we would have to make an if statement that we had just killed a unit, and that adds in additional difficulties. My main question currently is, why do we get double effect play? It might be because we had V5, and then if we turn this to V5, this might be the reason why. And of course now we can pretty much just copy this twice. Oh, that's better. Because now if we have support level 2, we don't set it to V4, we set it to V5. And if we have support level... Oh, that is supposed to be V4. And that is supposed to be V5. Oh crap, sorry, apologies, Paragon is in the way. Apologies. So what I did is I made the layout here the same as with Amiable. I don't know why, but that apparently probably fixes the double animations. And then here we have V4, 5, and 6 for the experience values. And from there on out, I just copied and pasted. However, this one has support level 2, which then has V5. This one is going to have support level 3. And then we have V6. To test that, we're going to copy and paste this one as well. Twice. And then on turn 2 and turn 3, we're going to change the yell levels all to different values. So the first one is 0. If this one is 1, we set it to 2. And if this one is 2, we set it to 3. And from there on out, we should be able to check if it works for every single support level. Let's see, how's the weather over there right now? It's bland and gray. There are no redeeming qualities. It's just one big blanket of gray clouds. It's not raining, but it is wet outside. It has been raining quite a bit. So sadly, not all that interesting. So we currently have a C support with Peleus. He has 0 experience. We kill 1 unit. Animations play for both units, so that's good. No matter the manner of the man. 6 experience, or 5 experience, which is correct. And then now if we attack another unit, also my purge has disappeared. I don't remember what all of these are going to be. We get, once again, we focus on Peleus, so he does get the small... Oh crap. Abraxas does nothing. I have noticed, however, that these end at a certain point. So bear with me, this should end at like a little bit. Just a little bit longer. Like while I was coding, I once or twice I just left these, and at a certain point we had the yeah, there we go. At a certain point it ended. Also, why do you currently have Blossom? Was that always there? We do have Peleus B support. He still only has 5 experience, however, so that is not working as intended. I'll quickly play the Shine as well. So that one luckily does work. And 35 experience. So that's probably because we had double combat because of the status weapon effect. You saw that it did light up just very briefly. So for the level 2, something is not going well right now. I guess I'll have to take a look at that once again with the combat, see where the problem lies exactly. We have a rank up, that is normal. We have 0 XP. We kill 1 unit with the Purge Tome. Bright flashing lights, of course. And now we have 5 XP, so that is going as intended. This time I'm going to use the shine and I'm going to make save state. We do get the light showing, so that's good. However, we don't get any experience from this, which is weird. And then if we use the shine, and now we should have an A support. Yeah, we do have the A support, even though we're not near each other. And we get the 8% crit, we kill. And we get 20, so that one does work. So what is going wrong in the second one? Because we do have the B support. If unit test skill V0 has tutor, and if it's Peleus, if the yell level is B, we disable unit set V1, 7, V5. And V5 would be V2 plus 10. So something here is not working as intended. Did I... No, that is caps lock, or that is indeed capitalized. Shouldn't get yell level. Afterwards it goes to end, so that is correct. Or maybe it's not supposed to go to end in this case, because we enter this statement, then no, it's only if we are in this entire section, and that should be correct, because we only go to end afterwards. If we're here and we find nothing, we go to this one. That is a big question. Where is the mistake? I don't have much time either. Also, sell cooking videos when? I mean, am I not cooking currently with the skill system? It's probably not what you intended, but no, I would have to bring my entire stream setup downstairs, and that seems like a bad idea. Also, to be honest, I don't like the kitchen I have available currently. I'm still really used to gas, and I know we have to get off of gas at some point. And induction is the future, everyone says that, I just don't like it currently. Oh wait, we have an effect V5, but V5 is... Oh yeah, that's why. You were V5. So that makes sense, so we have to make you V6, and we have to make you V7. So then this V5 can all stay. Then this becomes V6. And this becomes V7. And now we should be in business. Let's attempt. This skill isn't done yet, however, because what would happen if, for example, and we can test what happens. What if Peleus was going to level up from the value that we were going to have? In that case, what happens to him? Like, does he level up? Does he not? If he were at 85 XP and we wouldn't have anything. Also, I forgot to attack. We'll try it with this one. This one was the one that wasn't working. Okay, yeah, 10, that works. So now we're good. It was just a minor mistake. And now if we use the Shine Tome, we should be at 25, so that's good. And now I am going to stand here just to see what happens when we get attacked. Because, yeah, we do get attacked, and we should be getting attacked again. Because of the knife, it has an interaction. So we should get 45 experience from this. And 60 even because we have another interaction. So we're currently at 85. Now what I'm curious about is what happens when we place Micaiah here again. Or rather, if I were to attack from this location. because Peleus now would be at 105 experience. Or no, 85, he would be at 100 exactly. And that seems like it's not supposed to work that way. I mean, we can probably even make it even more. No, 100 experience is the max. So probably there has to be an if statement in this whenever, depending on the support level, if target has X amount of XP and this would put them to 100, then put them to 99 instead. So this would probably be if unit has 96 or has greater than 95 experience, put them to 99 instead. And like that's the biggest, that's the most important change to make here. But I think this is another skill working. We've got 2 today, which is 1 more than last time. So I think we've made quite some progress. And I think that's a good place to wrap it up for today. I want to say thank you all for joining. It's all been very fun, and I believe YouTube is just a little bit behind because Garrett just asked, does he level up when he's at 100 experience? I can indulge you on that one. We can take a quick look. We have 1 more enemy, but after that I am going to end the stream. It's been a lot of fun, and I think we made some great progress. And once this combat is done, I'll say Sal out. He gets 1 XP, but he has leveled up indeed. But that doesn't really seem like a... That seems like a weird interaction. Well, better to just make an if statement that places him at the correct amount of experience. Also, as you can see, Peleus doesn't gain anything, so we also have to make a small correction that he doesn't get any. We don't get any animations when he attacks. Other than that, once again, it's been great, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Sal out.